That's you rapping?
No, I'm actually the producer. So I'm actually dropping, this is my first producer single.
So who's rapping?
That is a young man by the name of Trice.
He's really heavily endorsed by a lot of big names. J Electronica, No ID, you know, Kanye's producer.
Yeah.
No ID. Huh? Tyree? That'd be a good idea. I think so.
Yeah.
He's family. I know we were trying to make sure we kind of everybody moved together, but it's just been crazy. He got back in town, so.
Okay.
All right.
Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeartRadio station. I'm your host, Roman, and we have a good show planned for you today. But first, the forecast from our IntellectualRadio.com Weather Center today. Cloudy, rain at times, high 61 degrees tonight. Breezy and mild clouds this evening, then becoming clear late with a couple of heavy thunderstorms overnight, transitioning into the early morning hours. Low 44 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and mild. High 58 degrees. Tomorrow night, clear and breezy, low 35 degrees. The rest of the week forecast looks like this. Wednesday, sunny, breezy, and cooler. High 49 degrees. Thursday, becoming cloudy. High 46 degrees. And on Friday, cloudy with breaks of sun. And it's cold. High 39 degrees. The Drive at 5 is also part of the Monday Night Mogul with One Sister to Another with your girl Angela at 4 p.m. Straight No Chasing with Rhea Ray Harris at 6 p.m. New Black Leadership at 7 p.m. and Maze Says with Maze Jackson at 8 p.m. The Drive at 5 is also part of the fabulous Drive at 5 only on IntellectualRadio.com. Today my guest is called the Princess of House Music. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to the. I know, I got you too.
I never heard that.
I mean, I'm like, yes, I love it.
See, you messed the introduction up. You want me to do it again for the?
Yeah, I would like it again.
Today, my guest is called the Princess of House Music. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to house music recording artist Jameisha Trice and her husband Jay Bravo. Welcome back to the Drive.
Thank you for having us. What's up, Roman? I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here today.
Oh, it shows.
Yeah.
Last time you were on the Drive, you have defined what house music means to you as unity, love, and inspiration of togetherness.
Right.
Given the situation in Chicago with violence, politics, and the list goes on, how does house music plays a part in changing the mentality of unifying people in Chicago?
I think house music, just around the world, because it's violence not just here in Chicago, even though we catch a lot of the heat just based off the media. There's violence all around the world. And house music is something that draws people together everywhere, from every age, creed, demographic, social status. I mean, some of the events that we go to, it's people from all around the world. You go to my page, my Facebook, my Instagram, there are people from all around the world who come and share their stories, who engage with me with the music, and I think it's just something that definitely brings things together. Chicago, it being, the forefront of house music, the beginnings of house music starting in Chicago, it's just one of those things that I think I've never heard like a story of violence at a house music show. It's like people are just in so much love and just having so much fun. It's just like nobody got time for that, the craziness that, some of the other things, some of the other environments, in Chicago, things that happen in those environments. But Chicago house music is something that I definitely think is it's a peacemaker. It's a music. The music is about love most of the times, love, happiness, and togetherness. And I think that that's reflected in the way that people respond to the music.
Jay Bravo.
Yes, sir.
What is your background towards house music? How you come about saying, okay, I'm going to stick to this?
Honestly, house music kind of chose me. You know, I was one of them kids who grew up on the South Side, of course, and I had an older brother who used to go to the world famous Mendel, and so I remember, always, Saturday nights or Fridays. I can't remember the day of the week, but being in the car taking him to the Mendel parties because he was a student there, and it just. Like my whole life, it's just been there. You know what I mean? I'm not a person who just heard it one day like, oh, this is dope. It chose me, and it's been there my whole life. And you just grow into it. You don't try to force it. It's a natural progression, and the music changes. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it and to have seen it from the South Side to the globe.
Johnny, he's underplaying things. He grew up.
So you're saying he's modest.
His brother and sister were like house heads.
Yeah, deep house heads.
Like they are deep, super house heads, and so it was like always around, like in his house. Like I grew up in a very religious family, so it's like I had to literally go listen, at the door to like hip hop and all that kind of stuff. Like the glass to the door. Yeah, I used to have to. Like my uncles would be playing it, like their door would be closed and locked. So my grandparents wouldn't hear it because they lived in the front part of the house. So I literally, anything other than like gospel, I used to have to go listen at the door. It's kind of crazy.
So your first house music, Jay Bravo, what was it what was the song? What said, you know what, I'm feeling this? Definitely,
it's kind of funny, right? Because it was kind of like two things that were like simultaneously, like in that era. One was definitely like Steve Curly, like Jack Your Body, and even like I can hear it, and from this day I can remember like that young, just hearing it, like what it sounded like, the feeling it gave me. And it's kind of interesting because around the same time, I think hopefully I'm right, but it was also like LL Cool J, I Need Love. So it was like those two things from the left and from the right just kind of like just took over my head. And I haven't been the same since.
I know. Some people are saying hip-hop has lost its appeal as well as the message in the music. In certain aspects, people associate hip-hop with house music, what you just said. And does that mean house music lost its momentum as well? It was making a comeback, but then it kind of pulled back. You feel that way?
No, I can take this one really quickly.
Yep, you can take this one.
House music, dance music in general, just pure dance music, has always had well, first of all, it starts in the club. It's a music that's driven by partying, it's driven by the club. And sometimes it goes to the forefront, like meaning commercial radio, and then sometimes it pulls back. And like, for example, what you're witnessing now is, over the past 5 years, you're seeing how dance music or house music became a commercial phenomenon, and then it goes back what they consider underground. Well, really, it's an underground genre, and that's really where it thrives. So if someone says it lost its steam, it didn't really lose its steam. It just went really back underground. It's a cycle. So it goes to the forefront, then it goes back underground, then it goes back to the forefront, then it comes back underground. Just like if you, go back and look at the era of like things that were out and hot, like Sounds of Blackness and, certain things like the Jungle Brothers, those were pretty much a lot of, London's house scene, like some of their sounds, things like Craig David. So that stuff gets pulled to the forefront, and then stays hot for a couple of years, then it goes back underground. So house music always has a cycle. Just dance music, period. It's mainstream, then it goes back underground, but it really thrives inside the underground. So that's where you see it in its best and its purest form.
It never goes away.
Yeah, it never goes away.
It's like it may not be hot here in this country. It's hot everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So wherever, like right now, last year this time it was like booming.
Right.
Yeah.
This year it's kind of like laid back a little bit.
Here's the thing: it's still booming. It really is. It's just it shifts.
Yeah.
It shifts.
They created new radio stations just because the EDM house just got so big,
and there's so much of it.
The publishers, we just talk politics, they want the radio back. They own radio, and so they had to create new stations, these HD stations now. WGCI has an HD station that plays all EDM.
All dance music.
WGCI, predominantly African American R&B hip hop station. They have a second station now, HD, that's all EDM. B96 as well.
Yeah,
like
both
for rhythmic, both of them. They